Here's Johnny. Thank you, Ed. Well, hello there, my social media family. Being as you are, or being persons among yourselves, from my subscribers to visitors alike who are affiliated or associated with and are representing my own particular YouTube social media channel and likewise chat room or comment section. How are you all doing? Hello there. Hey, hi. I know that I am broadcasting from a different atmosphere, for that assignment to give a moment in time for obvious reasons or purposes for my person having said so, whereas I wish to explain in due time. But first of all, let me interject this line of thought before I were to. And as I have made an inquiry of ask your persons how you all are doing, and so therefore now I go on with the following to make an inquiry of the general welfare or mental and physical health and economic status, etc. Your loved ones. Yes, how are any of your relatives and family members? That's relative or family members and friends, for that matter, of your many different personal households. I don't know what that was. Then that's not supposed to be a problem. Anyway, hopefully all is well with one and many or more than quite a few. That's all's well that ends well, as they say, with you and yours and me and mine for that matter. And moving right now. And now, as a backtrack here, the real purpose is the following to continue from where my person at last left off, so I can finish up as in complete form previous prior line of thought, and the same or similar so since the word. And before I were to get to the original subject matter, being of a topic of discussion to be debated, of a given argument with many different views and opinions to be affiliated, associated with, and are representing some such thereof, and to complement the name title for that being which would make up the video content material for the present social media broadcast. Now, I am recording from a different atmosphere and a background. For you see, yesterday or sometime last night, somebody and is continuing to venture upon premises properties for this floor level where I'm at, see, where it's my apartment or place of residence down this way, and like I say, I'm pointing in the right direction. Well, it all depends on what the camera is. It's okay. So if the entrance and exit way, the front entrance and that way. Let me see. And I gotta judge where the panel is at for the back door. So my apartment is not on this side, but on this side. See that see where that panel? Can you see the panel? You on what? Or I'm pointing correctly. Okay, right there, the panel. See, there you have the exits sign up above. No, not this one. That's for the. Anyway, though. Oh, I can do this. Okay. Then we have the what this will be the visual electronic, that is the visual and audio electronic equipment devices, probably digital cameras, and hopefully real than phone and record or something such when it comes to prowess. Anyway, though, somebody, and getting back to that former line of thought and to finish up here to complete it, somebody has been venturing upon the premise of properties of this floor level where I'm at and where my unit's atmosphere of a place of residence of an apartment is supposed to be situated for this building address location, being which is unfortunately where I'm presently residing as a tenant, paying annual monthly rent, utilities, etc., in a really bad neighborhood. And not just one of the worst of one, but one of the worstest ones yet, and therefore any public nuisances of problem neighbors, aka proverbial neighbors from down hell, are of even worse or my bad correction, the worstest of characters than those being of whom I have encountered and had been bothered with in times past, encountered or had allocations with, or whatever I would say. And here it is where it is. The main neighbor from down hell character being my last one that used to reside as a tenant in industrial apartments, see, whereas I've been told one thing and another in due regard, but then hold that thought, let me show you another apartment. And this here one is for another neighbor. And whereas the main neighbor from down here who was in this apartment, I've been told one thing and by two different persons with two different versions of what supposedly has happened in regard and reference to how he himself is not any longer on this floor level. See, his apartment just a couple few apartment doors down from that of my own, that is in conjunction to my own being a witch. So, yeah, okay. Pointing in the right direction. My apartment being a witches right here, Anyway, though, here's the back door he would go out of. He used to go out of. That is next to my apartment door. Though the lock mechanism is messed up and needs repairs. The Johnson family. But anyway, getting back to him, whereas at one time or another, one person was telling me that at one time or another, he was supposed to have moved out to another unit in the building or for one of the affiliates of the business real estate management office, the real estate business management office, or whatever I said. And then whereas another person was telling me that he could have possibly have gotten popped with a poo-poo coming from a rival local drug pusher, the likes of this kind, where all the while he himself is on top of and between the legs of a woman, whereas a rival counterpart of a local drug pusher is standing behind him, while he laid down with a woman and about to bust a nut in her, was the rival counterpart of a drug pusher, of a street character, licensed kind, is standing up behind him, ready to bust a cap in the back of his skull of his head at the same time. Who can say what is the case or situation? But this one who used to stay in this apartment, used to attempt to make my life a living damn hell for the longest. And if there's any factual substance to what I was told in due regard and reference to him. It can't be him unless, both persons who told me two different versions about what supposedly had happened to have him not be on this floor level again, unless they told me a lie, and it could possibly be him still here in some kind of capacity, attempting to make my life a living downhill. And then where's this other neighbor, and this is apart from that of my home. He hasn't been here for a while, being here because he's been in the hospital. And so I would rationalize or reason that it has to be, from downhill, otherwise an apartment above that of my own, who could possibly be causing me the same problem, or similar so ones, or whatever I said. Other neighbors from downhill character who resides in a tenant apartment above that of my own, is misbehaving like one is attempting to replace the last main neighbor from downhill, like I said, of a local drug pusher for the likes of this time. Nothing that noise comes from this part. Right. Anyway, whereas then there's still another potential factor as to who is patrolling this floor, whereas it could be that it is floor at odd hours, whereas it would be known enough for one to do so in the daytime, the daylight hours. And I know it's not maintenance personnel because they have that of their shifts during, normal business hours, So I'm thinking that maybe this neighbor from downhill in the apartment above that my own is patrolling this floor level, whereas one is not supposed to be on this floor level, whereas that would be a situation, a case of illegal criminal trespassing. If one is patrolling this floor level plan where I'm at to cause me the pain of mental anguish and physical trauma to attempt to make my life a living damn hell at such a given moment in time, like one is like say, or how you say, replacing the last main neighbor from downhill. And this other neighbor hasn't been here for a while, as I was saying, as I said before, let me reiterate, repeat, likewise state for the record, because that one has been in the hospital. But then there's the other, and then there's the other factor. I already mentioned about maintenance, all the same, to be included. But then there's the other factor. Now I get to the other one. Then another alternative option to explain who could possibly be patrolling this floor level. Whereas I noticed that there was a non-white male, one of the other races of people's person, a non-Caucasian being a male person of the ethnic minorities, or a black brother, to simply say. And I take it he works for the management office, because I think I had seen him in there before, unless I'm mistaken. Hopefully it's not a homie of any neighbor from downhill. But I had decided to set up camp outside my apartment door at some such a good moment in time, being of which I did. And lo and behold, this same non-white male or the black guy was patrolling the floor. The other day, yesterday or last night, I had called the police behind that, I was thinking from there, I get to reasoning, like, if it's not the male person or my last main neighbor from downhill, or a non-white black girl, somehow, if one person had told me that he's supposed to move to another unit, either in this building or elsewhere in another affiliated with the business office, real estate management, that she moved to another building altogether up under some other real estate business management. And then whereas another person was telling me he think that he had gotten popped with a poop guy rival local drug pusher. So if it's not him, unless both of those persons told me that, if it's not him, and if it's not this other neighbor who stays across from me, at some certain given moment in time, if he's been in the hospital for quite a while, then it would either have to be this one neighbor from downhill captive in the following position above that my own, he is behaving like one is attempting to replace the last man neighbor from downhill, local drug pusher, or it's this guy or fella, still another young white male of a black brother, who I had said I think himself is a part of, or so I paraphrase, not exactly. I think he himself is an employee of the real estate business management office, unless I am mistaken, because he does kind of familiar, though I'm not sure, But anyway, I had witnessed him patrolling the floor level at some such a given moment in time where I wanted to, check it out for myself once and for all, to try to find out who is, patrolling the floor level at some such a given moment in time. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because it's like, say, really getting up under my skin or getting on my last nerve. And inshallah, he could possibly be. Is that what I'm saying? Very long. No, it could be possible. Yeah, he could possibly just one or some such others that's doing the same crap. Unfortunately, like I said, after all, and now raising and one not just the worst, and now besides that thing, not just one worst, but one worstest. Essentially, communities. Therefore, my present neighbor from downhill would be not just some essentially the worst, but the worstest ones yet. Okay. Then let me show you. Okay. That's some essentially. Not like my partner. Give you a bird's eye view of some such other surroundings for this here. Then, if it is someone who is supposed to be an employee of the real estate management business, and I'm wondering why is one patrol, the floor level where I'm at some such odd hour at night, past business hours. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not more understandable if one were to do that during the hours, at regular normal hours, even if it were not to be for regular business hours, then to do so at night when it would be past that regular business hour. I was saying from which is explanatory. I haven't said so. Let me get back in here and show you some such other